Hey, welcome back. We're in Module 7 and we're talking in this module about how to move your data around. We've already done Section 1 where we went through the basics of cut, copy, and paste. I want to go ahead now into Section 2 and talk to you a little bit more about cut, copy, and paste, some additional options and how they apply to formulas. Let's jump right in and I will show you how to copy your formulas. In this exercise, if we look down at row 12, we have a formula here in cell C12. I'm going to double click to show it to you. And we haven't really talked a lot about formulas, but this one basically says add everything between C6 and C10. If I wanted to add this column, I would be saying add everything from D6 through D10. So basically it's pretty much the same except the column's different. You have the ability in Excel to copy your formulas using what's called the fill handle. The easiest thing to do is if the first formula is correct, click on it and drag the fill handle across this way, and that will actually copy that formula to the cells across. When I look at these, you'll notice this one says D6 through D10. This one will say E6 through E10 and all the way across. And I could do the same thing for these as well and for this last one. And that's a really quick way to copy your formulas. A little term that I want you to get familiar with for later. In each of these, when we copied across, Excel changed the column in the formula for us. There is a term for that. It is called relative reference. Excel will change the column or row relatively so that the answer stays correct. Let me show you up and down what I mean. When we look at G6, for example, this one is saying add across, and it says add C6 through F6. The one below it says C7 through F7, so this one changed the row automatically. When you go down and use the fill handle, the row will change automatically for you. You're going to learn later that you don't always want it to do that, but that term that I want you to remember is called relative reference. Now let me go back to this for a second. I'll just delete this one. I could, if I wanted to, have just right-clicked on this one, chosen copy, and I could right-click on this blank one and then choose paste. That would certainly work, but I'd have several to do that with, and it would just be very time-consuming to do that. Now I did want to show you that there are several other options when you're pasting. Let me go ahead and select this whole table, and I'm going to copy this. Now if I just come over here and right click, these are actually all of your paste options right here. And you can see a preview as I move across them, but I want to go through them real quick so you'll know what they mean. This first one is the regular paste that you'll use most of the time. The second one will paste the values. Okay, I'm going to click on that and just show you what I mean. Now at first glance, this looks just like this. But here's what I want you to notice. When I click here, there's no formula. It's just the value that was in that cell over here. Same thing all the way across with all of these. And that's what paste values means. Let me go back and copy this again. And I'll just slide to the right for a minute and show you a few other things here. Let's say I right click this time and look at the third one. That's called formulas, which is basically what the first one did in this case because we had formulas there we were copying. Now let's talk about transpose, what this does. If you notice, the original had the months going across and the names going down this way. Transpose just flips that. Notice now the months go up and down and the names go across. So anytime you'd like to flip your column or row headings like that, use the transpose option. There were a couple more there, so let me go back and select this again for you. I'm going to right click and copy. Now when I look at this and I right click, this one says copy the formatting. The formatting is the bold and italics and the colors, all of that. So that would not actually copy the numbers or text, just the formatting. And you'll see later on as we go through here how this would apply. And then we'll talk about paste links a little bit later as well. I just want you to be familiar with all those options so that when you see them, you would know which one that you might want to choose. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up Module 7. We've talked about moving your data around. Let's go ahead and really get into some of these formulas over in Module 8. I want to go ahead and start in Section 1 and give you an overview of how formulas work.